Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, a place where we focus on the business side of art to help you attract more customers, increase profits, to ultimately live a life of creativity and financial freedom. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and this week's episode, I'm going to be telling you a bit about a holiday promotion that I'm currently doing. I'm doing several of them, and why I think it's a good idea for you to put some kind of holiday promotion into play if you're not getting the sales that you want. And if you're listening to this, then you're probably lacking in some area. And right now, I think is a really good time to do something like this, which is why I'm doing it myself in my art business, which is why I'm telling you about it today. But whether it's murals, retreats, events, small items, like I'm currently selling a coloring book, canvases, just whatever it is, this works for everything art related. And so I'm going to be tackling a couple of the maybe thoughts in the back of your mind, thoughts that are in the back of my mind of, oh no, I don't want to devalue my art. I don't want to look like I'm giving it away. I don't want to, all of that. And how I talk myself out of it and how I move on and the benefits of that and all that. And also I'm going to be sharing some of the mural meetup behind the scenes. I just got off of our Florida mural meetup just a few days ago. I came home and I'm telling you all about that. So yeah, let's get into it. So $500 giveaway. That's the title of this podcast. And because that's what I've been doing recently is I'm giving away some money in order to make more money. And specifically, I was at a vendor event recently and I gave away a $500 gift certificate for towards a mural or logo, right? And that just got me thinking because while I was there, I had this pretty thing with a pink bow, of course, right? And printed out that said $500 gift certificate towards a mural or logo. And 500 was really big. And that got people's attention. More so than if people were just to come around and, they'd talk to me and but they're not going to give up their information and have me bug them later if they're not going to have a chance to win it. But I know that anybody giving me their email or phone number, which I asked for in exchange for winning this $500, they're interested, right? They're interested a little bit. They're cheap, but they're interested and they want something for less, but they're still interested. So I did that and I drew for the winner, and the winner was actually, so I did a complete random drawing, and the winner was actually somebody that was super excited. And I came home and told my husband, because he does this stuff all the time at insurance conventions. He was like, "You actually picked a random winner?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to pick somebody that you really want the mural to go to." And because he does this for clients, he's like, "I picked somebody, to win the whatever, as somebody that I really want to work with. That way I can go have the conversation with them." I was like, well, I thought about that, but then I just froze and I just did it for real. And I drew it out, and it was somebody who I really wanted to work with, who I had a full conversation with, and she wasn't sure if it was in their budget this year and the whole thing, and she needed to get it approved. And so when I drew out her name, we both we're like, "Oh, yay." She was like, "Yeah," so excited. And so I took down her info and I've been in contact with her. We haven't set anything down yet. She still has to get approval from building owners and stuff like that. But it gets the ball rolling, right? It gets people's interest. And this happens really well because so on the flip side, so not just in person at a vendor event, say you're not booked for a vendor event and you're not going to give something away, which most people, you probably haven't signed up for something, but you have an Instagram or you have a Facebook and whatnot where you show pictures of your art. And I know posting that you're giving away a $500 coupon towards a mural or a logo, that gets people's attention way more so than just posting your art. Okay, I should clarify. You should post your art while giving this away, because just having plain text as a post on a screen saying, "I'm giving away $500 towards a mural or logo," without a photo or a video, that's like shooting yourself in the foot. It's like, so we need both of those. We need a really good photo or video combined with an offer that it's just that people want, like cheap people, really. So what's happening, but that's okay. And so combining this, and what I know to happen is, it doesn't just like get people to share your stuff, tag a friend, share, enter your email, all the stuff. But it makes way more of a bang to give away something like this, because you're giving somebody hope that they could hire you for a little bit less, like they're getting something from it. You're making their brain work a little bit. It's like, okay, well, if I won this is what I would get from her. You're getting the contact, all the stuff, but it's drumming up way more attention. And that's what we're on social media for, right? We're wanting to get attention. I have thought so many times that I might revert to painting in a bikini and just like I'm like, no, like, because I know what gets attention, right? And it's probably not the best attention to get. But I've gone through in my head so many things of like just ways that I could be just outlandish to get attention online while still keeping it professional. And giving away a $500 gift card is a way to keep it professional while still getting attention, right? And I think of it this way, like you can post every single day and you're going to get business. Like you're going to, you're going to find somebody that cares and are like, oh yeah, you're like at the right moment, at the right time. Cause that's why we're doing it, right? Like I'm trying to post online right now and grab people's attention every day during the holidays, because this is the time to book things, commissions, small items, coloring books, all the stuff. Like this is the time to get people's attention. If I were to be lazy right now and decide, oh, okay, after Christmas I do it, like I would miss a really big buying window. So right now is the time. So this $500 giveaway could work at any time. But what I'm saying is especially right now. And I think of it like, okay, I'm going to give away a little bit of money in order to not to have to post like a crazy person. I want to get a lot of attention on this one post, or I'm going to do a couple different posts around this $500 giveaway, not just one, right? But instead of doing 10, I'm doing just a few that are going to make a way bigger bang than doing 10 posts. And so I'm paying a little bit in order not to have to give a little bit more effort in the daily or twice daily posting grind, right? So if this resonates with you in that way, you're like, I don't mind giving up a little bit of money in order to be lazier, which is how I think, you can do this as a beginner, but especially as an artist who, you have your bearings a little bit, like that's what we start to do. We start to give away a little bit of money to save some more time, because our time is less and less. And especially right now, when I have a little buddy, a baby, toddler hanging out, and when I would normally, just make videos for fun at night after the day, I don't really have that time as much. And so I'm just going to give up a little bit in order to make a bigger bang in order to do this. So how could you do this, right? I don't know if I'm going to do it right now because I have so many things going on, but I will do it in the future. I'm making coloring books, and every time that I launch a new coloring book from here on out, so I'm just launching my second one right now, and it's getting enough attention right now that I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do this quite yet, but in the future I will. And I've considered it right now is I want to do a coloring book bundle giveaway. So not giving away $500 towards a coloring book. I only sell them for $12 and I make 4.5 of that. And so it's different per offer, right? With the mural giving away $500, I'm still going to make $1,000 on somebody by doing that. So it's okay. But with a coloring book bundle, I want to give away like every coloring book that I've made so far. So my next one, so when I make the third one, which is coming up, I want to give away 3 coloring books. And in order to get somebody's email, in order to get them on an email sequence, in order to sell to them every time I create one from now on. And also just to have people tag people, let people know about it, all the things. even though it's just a $12 item, combining it with 2 other $12 items makes it more valuable. And people will give their email and tag a friend in order to save $36. And that's all I'm giving up for promotion on that. I'd like it's nothing big, but I think the email component is really important here. Like the tag a friend, yeah, like the typical thing. Do whatever you want, but I think the email component, in order to check back later and sell to them even after they don't win, I think that's the key component here. I'm also doing it with a mural meetup. So I talked about this in a previous mural meetup podcast episode, explained all the meetups and all that. So I'm not going to go into all the details of how cool they are, because we're going to Costa Rica and Mexico and Barcelona and St. Croix next year. And you can go see that at artistacademy.co/meetup, which is on here. You can literally go see the pictures and all the stuff. And yeah, they're really cool. But aside from the details, I planned 4 in the next 4 months. And I was like, oh, I usually plan 1 a year of a travel one that's really cool. And I usually charge next to nothing, keep it dirt cheap, and don't like anything. So this year I'm going to change that. I'm going to do multiple. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to escape the Missouri winter and go to all these places and have artists join me. Then we all learn and connect and everything. It's going to be great. And I was like, wait, the fear in my head was, what if they don't all book up? And that's exactly what's happening. I have so many spots. I think we have like 50 spots open on all the meetups or more. Maybe more than that. Like if you're counting in the meetup that we just did in Florida, and then a Missouri meetup that we're doing also in June. There's a lot of spots. And compared to the 30 people that came to last year's meetup and just booked those spots, I was like, okay, what if they don't fill up? And math, they're not. So we have about 2 spots left open as I record this for Costa Rica. We have 4 spots left open for Mexico, and then a handful of spots for St. Croix, because that's the farthest one out. I think maybe like 8 left. And then hardly anybody's booked Missouri because it's so far out. It's like 6 months out. And so I'm like, okay, I need to drum up some attention here. I need to let people know about it yet again. I would love to have just, okay, guys, this is the book date. Everybody book, and then I don't have to talk about it anymore. And then I just see you at the meetup. Yay. like, wouldn't you just love to just post about your mural stuff once and let people know about, look how cool it is. Look how the benefits for your business. And then that's it for the year, right? Like that would be way more fun. But when I set the meetup, like, okay, everybody come book, I had a bunch of people booking, and I was like, heck yeah, because they were booking for all the different ones. And I'm like, okay, this is working. Like, okay, everybody wants, there's some that are focused on spray paint, and there's some that are focused on like one more of a really small group with brush lessons with me. And then there's some that are just like beginner, and some that are super advanced. So they're like all over the board, and people were booking all of them. And I was like, okay, good. There's some people that have an interest in all of these different things. But I need to fill them a little bit more than they are. So I'm coming on and talking about it and telling you how cool it is, but also doing a $500 giveaway towards a mural meetup. And if you've already signed up for a meetup and like secured your spot in the Costa Rica or whatever it is, then if you win, and I'm going to do a random drawing. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to cheat like my husband suggests to do in the mural drawing. I'm going to do it for real. And on Christmas Eve, which I'm excited about because it's kind of like, okay, here's a Christmas present to you. And yeah, I don't know. That just feels good. I'm making this up as I go, guys. You can totally make up your giveaway. You can give it away on Christmas Eve. You can give it away a week before. I don't know, whatever feels good. But it kind of feels it's warm and fuzzy to me to be able to give somebody a Christmas present of a meetup. And $500 there's some meetups that are 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So it's more than covering usually more than half of it. So just makes it more feasible for somebody, and I get to book a spot on it. And hopefully between now and then we book up a couple more spots and get it a little bit more full. So I don't have to talk about it over and over again because I'm lazy and I don't want to shout it to the world. Hey guys, this is really cool. Like join me, because it is. And yeah, speaking of mural meetups, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the meetup that we just got done with. We went to Florida, and it's so funny because just like on a mural project, things are just going to go wrong when traveling as well. So combine a mural project with traveling. I think of this, I'm like, okay, things are going to go wrong. It'll be fine. But I think of like what better of a person to do this than me, because I've been to 40 plus countries and I've done so many murals. I'm like, just expecting it, not in a negative way, but it just like, okay, bring it on. Like, this is whatever. So we get there. I fly super early on, was it Sunday? Yeah, this was past Sunday. No, two Sundays ago. Anyway, on Sunday, I flew super early into Florida, and I had an artist meet me there. Shout out Brittany. She's been to a meetup before. So I was super excited that she was carpooling with me, and just somebody that I knew, because this is the first travel meetup that my husband didn't go on. And he's like, usually like he'll drive the van and he'll like help me with the groceries. We do a big grocery haul and like get a bunch of food to stock up for the week so we don't have to constantly go out to eat. And that's all included, by the way, just letting you know the perks of the meetups. I feed you, I house you, I teach you, I hug you. We do yoga. um, so we get there and I meet Brittany, and we're just like, can't find the car rental place. And we find it, and it's like an off-site place. And we get there and I give them my insurance. And they're like, oh no, we don't take business insurance. We has to be a personal. And I was like, this is all I have. Luckily, Brittany was here and it's like, I'll drive. I was like, okay, great. So last minute, so she's driving us, and we're like running late because we're just going around. We go to 5 different stops to find all the paint and all the stuff. And so we're getting there late, but anyway, it all works out. And we wake up, and Brittany, who, by the way, you have a trade that you want to do. Like I trade like yoga teachers and cool stuff like that. It's, if you have a trade like photography, anybody's been into photography, let me know. And I will give you a majorly discounted price, like basically just cover the costs and come along with me. But so Brittany was one of those, and she taught sunrise yoga by the water. And so we were in Bradenton, Florida. And by the way, I like the couple days before, like the thing said waterfront, and I was like, yeah, it's Florida. It's by the ocean. And then we go and he gives us the actual address, and it's like riverfront, and I'm like, oh, that's a detail. That's a learning experience. Okay, so hey guys, we're like riverfront, not oceanfront. See you there. Like, oh my god, idiot. Like, okay, move on. Anyway, so we get down there and we do sunrise yoga, and I'm like dragging myself to sunrise yoga. I'm like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. I know it. Like, it's cold. And so we do it, and I'm like, this is actually amazing. I should wake up every day and stretch my back like this, because it was fantastic. And we did it the next morning too. And it was, yeah, great way to start the day, and kind of a bonding experience because we're all like not yoga experts at all. And then, so we go to paint the wall, and it's not primed. And there was a mix up and who does what, because the owner that I was in contact with wasn't there. And like, anyway, so we have to prime it, which it takes a 2-hour extra from the day, but that was okay because we just went with it. And it was a good learning lesson on like how to prime with a sprayer. But anyway, Christian and Jessica Stanley, shout out to them. They are husband and wife team. If you haven't listened to their podcast on here, it's fantastic. And I hired them to come out and deliver a spray lesson for us. And then Jessica Stanley, who is the business side of their business, she gave a business talk the next morning, and it was just amazing. Like, they were so prepared. They had goodie bags for people. They gave away a sprayer. It was like, I'm like, oh, this investment is so worth it. Cause you just never know. Like, okay, like we're all just figuring it out. I'm putting things together. Like, this is going to work out. Surely this is going to work out, but you never know. And so as things are going, I'm like, okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. Dang, we have to prime the wall. Okay, that's fine. Like, it's just kind of just going with it. But Christian and Jessica Stanley they were just a rock solid investment in this meetup. So I paid them to come. And by the way, like I paid them, a decent amount, like over $1,000. And in doing this, I think one of the one of the great things about these meetups is like I get to invite people in, pay them a bunch, and then pass the cost on to the attendees, but all broken up. So, somebody like an attendee was not paying over $1,000 to be there, but they're getting the lessons from these people and myself. And it's just like having these meetups. I think one of the biggest perks of it is being able to have multiple people there in order to split the cost and in order to do the mural together. That way we can have I try to make these as affordable as possible by inviting enough people to make it fun and to learn, but not enough to make it chaotic. That's what I've learned. And so anyway, they talked about spray paint, and we got to try some spray paint, and he gave corrections on how to use like a big sprayer versus actual cans and the whole thing. And I'm not very fluent with spray paint, so I was a student myself. I was like asking questions right along with everybody, like, how do you, excuse me? And they're just great teachers. And I videoed the entire business talk that she gave. And I do business, and so I'm like, I pretty much know like how to market myself online, how to get attention, like how to do the social media thing. But I brought them in because they apply to public art calls. They do the RFQs. They do the stuff that I don't have very much experience with. And so I was zoned in when she was talking, so much so that she was showing us like all the ways to apply. And just a tip, call for entry, I think it's .org. So call for entry is the main way that they get things. There's other ways that I'm not going to share because we paid good money to do this and other people paid as well. So I'm not going to share all the things. But by the way, I videoed this and put it inside of the Academy for a slight upcharge. So if you are inside of the Academy and you would like this, you can purchase that within there. And again, I went back and forth with this about doing it for free or not. And I was like, no, like we paid good money in order to get this in person. And it's so worth it. I'm going to make so much money off of this talk that she gave because, we all have different holes in our business. Like, and this is a hole that I had. I was like, I've applied to some things before and I've gotten into a couple things, but I've not gotten into a couple things. Like I just applied to an art call in Fayetteville, which is not very far from me. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to get this. And listening to her talk, I was like, ooh, I think I know the reason I didn't get it. Or, we think we know. Without feedback, it's super hard to actually know. But I was like, okay, I feel so much more confident going forward. And like I was looking on call for entry, and there was an art call that was due on Monday. So it's already passed, but I got my shit together really quickly and was like, okay, I used her notes and I had my VA help me. And I sent my letter of interest and my artist bio and statement and everything off to my book editor and said, hey, can you look over this for the weekend, like, and get it back to me? And she did. And so it is good to go. Like with Jessica's direction and my book editor's edits and everything, I'm like, I feel so much more secure going forward in applying to these, because if I'm going to waste my time going through and applying to art calls, I want it to be the best it can be. And I did, I think there's a level, of like figuring it out on your own. I'm totally for that. And then there's a level of, okay, how do I up level? Like, how do I make this better? And like getting other people's opinions in it or just opinions or help. And to help, I'm the one making the decision and the final cuts of my artist statement and all the things. But it's like, how many eyes can I get on this? And how do I make this better? And so that's what I did. So I just applied to this art call, and if I don't get it, I'm gonna cry. But no, we actually talked about that as well. Like they apply to several and get few, but it's for the ones that they do get, it's so worth it. So again, like if you want access to that call, it is inside of the Academy for a slight upcharge. So you can get that if you want. And if you're thinking about applying for our calls, I highly, highly recommend it in 2025. Like this is the time where I am getting my shit together and beginning to apply for a lot of things in January. I like the idea of putting photos out online and making videos and whatnot and having people come to me. But, And there's other ways. So I'm going to be trying this heavily in this next year, and we'll see how it goes. I will report back and may or may not talk you into it. I'll share how many times I get rejected versus how many that I get, but hopefully the numbers aren't so bad. But those are the kind of things that I am bringing into the mural meetups for 2025. It's things that like spray paint and business strategies. And I'm going to help work with people one-on-one to make a 2025 game plan, and the January meetups, which is Costa Rica and Mexico. And yeah, it's just coming to learn things that can help up level your business is what the mural meetups are all about. And I am totally open to suggestions of things that people want to learn. Like spray paint was one that the Artist Academy was like, hey, we want to learn spray for so long. And I was like, I don't know spray. I can't teach you. I'm like, wait, I have an idea. Like, let's bring another artist in. And so that's what we're doing for the Costa Rica one as well. And St. Croix. Anyway, if you would like to see the details of the meetups, you can just go to artistacademy.co/meetup. And the link is here. And go to my recent Instagram post in order to it's just tag a friend, and then I'll send you a link. You comment on the thing, and then you enter your email, and that's it. And then I will do the drawing on Christmas Eve for the $500 giveaway, and hopefully people book between now and then as well. So yeah. So with that, just sharing the back end of why I give away things. If you're not in the place that you want to be, I think it's okay to give away a little bit of money or a little bit extra time, or whatever you're okay with giving away in order to just make a bigger impact. Because I don't think it degrades what we offer. I think it matters to certain people who have certain views of things. Like one person, Sally, could be like a super, I don't know, whatever. And it's like obviously, like in my head, I'm like, oh, she's having so much, like, these aren't worth it. Like, why would I, like, nobody else is booking. Like, why would I go? Or like, like, no, nobody else is booking her for murals. Why should I? Like, obviously she's desperate to do, like, those thoughts go through my head. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever works, whatever gets you a paycheck that you're happy with, whatever gets you a wall to paint and a customer that's great to work with, like however you can get that attention and get that going, I think it's fine. I think just shut up inner thoughts, like just stop. But I have those too, and yeah, I think it's fun to be creative with it. I think it's fun to just do the thing that you want. And also I look at my art business and how I decide what I want to do the giveaways, and it's like, well, what do I want to sell the most? What am I excited about? And so if murals are the thing that you want to get into, maybe you could do a $500 giveaway. Like maybe you could do a free mural. Like maybe, I don't know. You just, what you could do is you could post it in our Arts Academy Facebook group, or in a whatever secure Facebook group, like not necessarily like on your own Facebook or Instagram, but like ask other artists, or ask people, like we have the free Artist Academy Facebook group as well. Like you could post it in there and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Does this make sense? Does it feel like I'm giving myself away? Like, should I ask for supplies? Should I, I think it's okay to ask for other opinions, but ultimately rely on yourself. Anyway, okay, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this was beneficial right before the holidays. And here we go. Okay. All right. Thank you. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Artist Academy podcast. If you could do me a huge favor and share this episode on social media, if you liked it, or share it with a friend, or so, I'm trying to get the word out to as many artists as possible to be able to help coach as many artists as possible through the art and business wisdom that is shared within these episodes. I so appreciate every single time somebody shares an episode or a clip or whatnot on Instagram and tags me. I'm like, oh, people are listening. That's so cool. I also appreciate when anybody messages me and tells me, hey, that episode really helped me do blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, good. Love it. So I just wanted to say I appreciate it when any of you do that. So Thank you. I also wanted to remind you that if you are not where you want to be in your art business, you're not making the money that you want to make yet. And if you've been going at it a while and you're like, okay, this isn't going as fast as I wanted, or I'm just not receiving the results that I wanted, then I want to challenge you to think like, what other thing could you be doing? Could you be stretching yourself a little bit further? Could you be going out of your comfort zone a little bit more? Or maybe it's time to hire help of somebody who's been there and has done that and has been through the challenging times that you have and has made videos on how I've gotten through it and how I've done things better and all the behind the scenes within my Artist Academy membership. It's only $37 per month, cancel anytime. And it showcases everything that I have learned in my art business. And it helps you learn to get there a little bit faster or a lot faster in terms of some of my students who I have helped quit their jobs and go full time. And some even make six figures. We have plenty of six-figure episodes here on the podcast if you want to dig back into those as well. But the resources are there and it's up to you to know what you need, especially going into 2025. If 2024 did not go the way that you thought it would, or it's just freaking slow growth, maybe there's something you can add, and whether it's the membership where you can dive into content at any time, or I have this other small coaching group that I meet with every single week. So every Monday we meet and I give you a task of something to do that week that will help grow your art business the ways that I'm doing it too. So I'm basically just telling you, hey, I'm doing this week within my art business. How about we all go out and do this? And then I'll hold you accountable. And then I'll check in with you next week to make sure you did it. And I'll be here for you directly in this small group that we have. Currently we have 6, and I'm opening up maybe 6 more spots, maybe 7. I don't know. But I want to take on another small coaching group because I'm seeing the impact that it has on my own business and the people who are in it. And I really like this. I like the energy that comes with every Monday meeting with other artists and talking strategy and figuring out how we can both make more money in our art business. So if you're not scared to make a bigger investment than $37 a month, which is the membership, if you're not scared to make a slightly bigger one to get the bigger jobs and have more accountability because you've decided that 2025 is the year you are going to do it no matter what. That's the energy that I want in this small coaching group. That's the energy that I want around me all the time. It's, hey, I'm doing this. I'm going all in, not at the sake of family time and free time and all that. But like, I am going to be super productive in the time that I need to be. And I promise I'm going to do exactly what you say. Then I want to invite you to join my small coaching group. We meet every Monday and you can be personally coached by me all year. Go to the link here. I have different links for if you want to just apply for the $37 a month membership. If you want to go into the small group coaching and get more information, I have everything. All the links are here. So you can go to artistacademy.co or artistacademy.co/2025 is for the small group coaching. But just check the notes and you will see all the things. Okay. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Artist Academy podcast. I will see you next week.